Hello, this is Dane. Welcome back to my channel, Filipino Nurse Retires Home, and I am your host. Thank you for all your subscriptions. It really helped me very much. All your comments makes me really busy and very excited every day looking at them. And I hope I am responding to you accordingly. Now, please comment and share my videos to other people. If you think it is worth looking and watching. And today's topic is about the crab mentality of Filipinos. I'm going to just be specific. It's the Filipinos this time because it is very prevalent in our society, and the only way we can overcome this kind of problem, because it's really obvious, is to talk about it, and we can have a forum about it later on. Otherwise, let's start. Now, crab mentality is very prevalent in a very impoverished areas like countries, especially being colonized for the longest time. In the Philippines, we were colonized by Spain for hundreds of years, and then after that we had war, and then Japan had war with United States, and Philippines was the center of that war, that area. So we were really affected. Now, that kind of difficulty, it really brought about suffering on all people and what we call survival type of behavior. And that's what we have. Up to now, we're still doing it. So, do you know what crab mentality is? The crab mentality is like a crab. I'll tell you why it becomes a crab mentality, because we act like crabs. Now, I like fishing and I like crabbing, and I know the behavior of those animals. Now, I just went fishing, by the way, yesterday. I really did not do anything. I mean, I did not have any kind of bite, so I stayed there for about 2 hours and left. And crabs, we just eat it, my bait, and they were so fast about that, but I do not want to have anything to do with crabs that time. So anyway, let's go back to the main topic. You know what? The only time the fish bites you is when you remove the hook out of his mouth. And after that, you dump that poor fish into the bucket, and they will die in pace, and they will not bite you again. But the crabs are different though. The moment you get that crab out of the net, when you get the thongs there to pinch him, he will pinch you back. You're gonna have to pry him out of there to dump him into the bucket. By the time you put him in the bucket, some of those crabs would just settle down there at the bottom, but some of the crabs would like to get out. I think they know they're bright, they're probably bright, and they know that they are fixing to get eaten. Especially the Filipinos, we love crabs so much, and here comes the crabs. The crabs trying to climb out of there. My God, I need to get out of here because I will be eaten. Oh my goodness. And here are the other crabs. Those other crabs at the bottom would try to get him out, pinch him and basically pull him down. My goodness, 2 of his limbs came off. I'm so glad he has about 10 of them to survive. But anyway, that poor crab went down anyway along with the other crabs, and they are all quiet that time. Quiet and bubbling away, just bubbling away. The only commotion they have is when the other crab again will try to get out of there, and that's when the war would come next. And the only time that they will really rest in peace, after you have a boiling water. My goodness, the other crabs still wants to get out of there, but the other crabs will pull them down till they would be red. And that's the time when you don't have to worry about them, except when you shell them and eat them, because it can still poke you. And that's why I do not like to mess with crabs, because I love to eat them. But holy cow, shelling them is so hard. No, I diverted to the point. But anyway, my point here, by nature, we seek other people for protection and survival. That's why we have villages everywhere. We started here in the United States, we have villages before when the pilgrims came. The only way to protect yourselves were in groups. So we have, we're able to protect ourselves from the Indians. I'm talking about Americans. And then when we were in the Philippines, we grouped together also as a family so that we can survive together. If not, we're gonna all die and we'll be susceptible to all those kind of exterior forces. Now, what happens is, as the population grows, there's gonna be competition for food, as well as power, as well as jobs, and etc. That's when the survival thing would come out of us. It's gonna trigger us because we're threatened that we cannot have enough food anymore. So we're gonna have to take care of our own families and ourselves to be able to eat, okay, because there's a lot of competition. So normally, you know, some psychologists says that our body has a natural way of kind of protect themselves by excreting hormones. That's a little bit over our heads, but anyway, hormones that makes us happy, makes us sad in a certain situation. Now, if there is a threat outside, because of this, we develop the type of reaction like crabs that will just grab anyone who is trying to get out of that bucket, because we don't want them to get the best food or something like the best, basically the best of everything. So you want to grab them down. So that's why it's called crab mentality. All right, the signs and symptoms of crab mentality are very easy to spot on, and I personally have that sometimes, but as when I grow older, it had lessened a lot because I realized that later on it's a big mistake to do that. So number one is when you're jealous about other people's successes, and sometimes people are better in life than you, so you do not appreciate that. So you have crab mentality. And when you go to a sari-sari store and join the forum of ladies and gentlemen there and talking about the business of personal business of successful people around the town, and you join them, you have it. And when you are not compassionate with other people, okay, and happy for them, and you bully them, you have crab mentality. And another one, if you give a unwanted wrong advices to people that they cannot do a certain goal or they cannot pursue a certain career, to deter them from pursuing their career. Now, really competition is the key reason why we have this kind of attitude, but we can reduce that by doing this kind of practice that I'm going to tell you. We can reduce that by, number one, you have to be persistent. Despite of who one is telling me that I cannot do it, I'll do it anyway. I'll get out of the bucket regardless, you know. So if you want to stay down there, then I will go up and get out of the bucket. So you're persistent. And do something to improve yourself. Go and further your education and forget about the other people who are telling you that you cannot do it. So that's how to beat crab mentality. Another one is learn to appreciate other people's blessings. There's some people who are better than you, so you have to accept that and be happy for them. And then say congratulations and be happy and accept that. And number 4, the last but not the least, very important now, we have to beat this, and we will start on our children. Teach them how to face failure by accepting that they did something wrong, not because of other people, and then comparing themselves to other people and competing with them in a very unhealthy manner by pulling people down, instead talking and gossiping about people. You have to start from your kids. If not, this is gonna be carried on from one generation to another. Somebody has to stop, and it's only the parents who can stop this. Actually, it's a kind of exercise that you have to do, and it has to start from the formative years of your children. And I hope you learn a little bit about this and will do something about it. And I'm encouraging each one of you to give me comments, and we're gonna have a healthy change of ideas how to beat this crab mentality, because it's going around the world, because it's survival. We are on survival mode. Okay, thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye bye.